Hello, I'm Philip Stoughton. I'm at Productronica 2025 and I'm on the Co-Young booth and I'm with Solin, who is now the Chief Operating Officer. Congratulations on the recent promotion. I know you've kind of changed up the model and it's a partnership with yourself and Michael Zahn leading the company forward through these challenging and exciting times. Start by telling me a little bit about your background and how that led you to the role you have here.
Yeah, so actually I had a business major, so I studied economics, bachelor, and did an MBA in Korea.
Yeah.
So I had some sort of connection to Korea already from university times, but yeah, even though everything, you planned it a little bit differently, my plan was to work not for a Korean company. I ended up, of course, in a Korean company, and I ended up in this industry. And I think the moment I started, I totally fell in love with it.
Wow.
So since then, and it was 8 years ago, and actually it's my anniversary this week because I started at the Productronica 2017.
Wow.
That was my first show. I was, I think, 2 weeks with Koyang. And I just loved it. And I was totally fascinated by the technology, by the machines, by the whole industry, our customers, and that's why I stayed. And over the time, of course, when you stay at a place, right, you start really becoming valuable, in my opinion, after 3 to 5 years, because you start to understand everything, connect things, and I stayed and I developed, and then I had the chance when our former general manager retired.
Yeah, when Harold moved on,
exactly, to take over, and I said yes.
Yeah,
I'd love to.
That's exciting, and it's really interesting. You talk about learning about the company and learning to add value within that. But I think what's even more important is learning about the EMS industry. The EMS industry is an unusual industry. The companies that manufacture things for OEMs are kind of the unsung heroes of the electronic supply chain. And learning the dynamics of what challenges them makes you really valuable to Co-Young. That must have been a really fascinating journey as well, understanding a new industry.
Absolutely, it was for sure, because like I said, I was an economics major, so when you start in this industry and you don't have an engineering background, like, you choose, for example, sales then usually, or you do a few other tasks first. But at the end of the day, understanding the product and understanding the industry, no matter what you do, if you're in administration, if you're, of course, in sales anyways, but there are so many more tasks and jobs and roles, right? It is key. Because we're not selling or offering, I don't know, something self-explaining, but something very technical. And that's why we have to understand it, right, in order to help and support our customers. But I think everyone who's here kind of develops a passion for it, and this helps. This helps to really understand. This helps to, kind of feel comfortable also, thrive.
Absolutely. And you were lucky enough to be mentored by Harold. You spent a lot of time shadowing him, so you saw exactly how he operates. You saw, every aspect of that. That must have given you a really good grounding. It must have given you a really good, not just a grounding in how everything operates, but tapping into that network, all of those people.
Yes, exactly. I mean, he's very well known in this industry, in the European SMT industry. He's been there for 49 years.
Wow.
So it's incredible. So kind of also anniversary with the Productronica and the Semicon show. And the past 8 years, I've been by his side. I've learned a lot. I've seen all our different departments. I've met a lot of customers and partners, and this was so valuable, So of course, in the beginning, when you're new, you observe. You're like a sponge, like you inhale a lot of information and knowledge. And at some point, and that was actually what I was really looking for, it turns a little bit, right?
You become trusted advisor, and
exactly. You have your own ideas. You can really, be creative and also develop the company and the partnerships and the customer relationships. So it is great. I learned from a really experienced person who was a really good mentor for me as well.
And eventually the student becomes the master and the leader, and that's where you are now. And that the way you've changed things up is to have you taking care of the operations and kind of that leadership role, and then having Michael look after the kind of sales side of it. If you like, the customer facing. I'm sure you're very much involved in the customer facing stuff. How does that partnership with the two of you work?
It works really well because we already worked before in a project that Koyang actually initiated here in Europe. It was called SMT meets Semicon because we wanted to. We also have products for the backend industry, so as a lot of other industry partners, and then this is where I met him at his former company and realized we worked really well together. I mean, also it was a similar dynamic that I had with Harold.
Yeah.
He being very experienced, wise, senior. Me probably being the one who has a lot of drive, motivation, hunger. And together we just had a good harmony, and I realized it works out well. So finally, I also convinced him to join us, and since then he worked for us, and then this opportunity came up, and everything
and it made sense. It fell into
naturally,
place.
exactly. It was nothing that it just was like that. It was as easy as it sounds.
Just as it should be.
Yeah.
Well, I've often harped on about a missing generation in the industry. We have some kind of younger kids coming in from Stanford and places like that doing some really interesting stuff, but we have a huge grey-haired generation that are getting towards the end of their career. So I think it's really exciting to have someone like yourself in such an important leadership role within a market leader. It's a big deal for the industry, so I really appreciate that. I guess this has been your first Productronica fully in charge. It's a tough time for the German market, but there's kind of some green shoots of recovery there. How has the week been?
Amazing, actually. Amazing because it was really busy. Not only busy, but there was this, spirit that was in everyone, at everyone's booth when the customers came over, and it felt like a little bit like what I was used to when I started in 2017. I really remember this show. We had our new booth introduced, huge booth, and I loved this instant, atmosphere and this energy from everyone. And I think since then it was the first time where I really felt that again, that excitement, that energy, that passion from everyone, and hope also, because it's everyone knows we had a really tough time the past 1.5, 2 years. So we really needed that. I think to kick off 2026 and come back even stronger, we needed this. So it was a great week so far. Amazing.
And to have that success in 2026, there's a whole lot of people coming together. It's a lot of collaborations, a lot of partnerships, a lot of relationships that need to come together. So I think coming together here at a show like this and cementing those and actually driving some plans forward makes a difference.
Absolutely. Partnership is the key.
Absolutely. Solin, thanks so much for your time. Thanks for talking to me, and I'm sure we'll talk again lots in the future. Thank you.
Looking forward to.
Thank you.